Hey Sam, how's Gillette?
Well, we are actually out of Gillette now and we are in Sundance. So we moved an hour east of Gillette.
And this is where you're gonna stay now?
Yep. So we are all moved into our house. And so now we permanently are back into a home.
Good. I was
Yes.
worried about winter in Gillette in a trailer.
Yeah. Gosh, everything worked out perfectly because the weather was really nice during the week that we moved. Um, and then after we got moved in the house, then we got hit with snow and cold weather, like even worse than November. So it worked out well.
Good. Good. Home for Christmas.
Home for Christmas.
Your house looks amazing. It looks like a destination, like an Airbnb or something where you would go.
It feels like it. It really does. It's beautiful out here.
Yeah. It looks like a really cool spot. Did you guys buy that house or did you rent it or did you build it?
So we bought it. It was built 5 years ago. It's an Amish built log cabin. So it's only 5 years old. So we bought it.
Yeah. My mom's jealous. See her face. She's always wanted a log cabin.
Well, you're welcome to come visit.
It looks really cool. Lisa, you look super festive with your tree and it's reflecting off the glass behind you. You just look all sorts of festive. Marlena, did you see my comments about your dog and my dog and Rocky?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I said your picture looks a lot like my picture that I shared because your dog looks like Rocky, except like they're completely different breeds. They're just same color. And yours is probably the same size as he is now. Yes, we'll give everybody like another minute or two real quick and then we'll get going. Let's see. The boys are watching Georgia and the puppies right now, so fingers crossed on that. They're like right there.
Carlo.
Pitch a tennis ball in there and get them, but everything's too quiet right now. Too quiet is worse than loud sometimes. You don't know what's happening. Is that Andy? I think it is. Hey, Andy. Congrats on the new baby.
Oh, thank you. This is the old baby.
Oh, very cute old baby.
Thank you.
Welcome. It's good to see you. All right, guys. Well, we'll get right to it. I'm sure we'll have a bunch of people catch the replay, and it is the Sunday before Christmas holiday, and so I'm having a feeling people have got a lot of stuff going on, like last minute shopping and all sorts of things. A couple quick announcements. I put it on last week's Sunday call, but I wanted to just do a quick reminder. Couple exciting things ahead in 2020. There's going to be a few changes, all ways that we've like actually thought about how to improve things and just continue to make our like online community even tighter and more effective. So a couple quick changes, not quick changes, but a couple changes to go over that I'll talk about real quickly. First off, the Sunday email is going away. So you got a Sunday email today, you get one more, and then Sunday email is gone. Instead of Sunday email, we want everyone in Fitme to either be on the Sunday call or listen to the replay, because on the Sunday call, I'm going to give you a prompt for the week, just like you normally get in your Google form, except I'm just going to tell you what it is. I'm going to say like, hey, this is what I want you to let your coach know. Every Monday, you're going to send your coach a Marco Polo check-in for the week, almost identical to what you would have done on your Google form. It's like, hey, this is what my answer to the question is. This is kind of what's going on this week and what I need. You could send that on Sunday or Monday. And then just like always, you'll hear from your coach on Tuesday and nothing's really different. So we're just replacing we're just taking out two things that you have to do and just focusing on stuff that we're already doing, just making it better. So no more Sunday email. after next week, and no more Google form, except for the mamas. The mamas still have Google form. The Fitme mamas, our pregnancy postpartum group, just to clarify. Not if you are a mama, you are not getting your own special Google form. If you're in pregnancy and postpartum group, then you'll have one. So then the last thing is that we are shifting and shuffling the Marco Polo groups. So that is a positive. We got a lot of feedback that everybody loves the groups, but we're going to try to make them a little bit smaller. And so that's going to be just a nice shift. You're going to meet new people. You're also going to be in a smaller group, which should make it a little bit more doable. If it's been something that you're like, I really want to be a part of it, but it just feels like I can't keep up. This will be a really good change. And so we're pumped about it and excited. So you don't have to do anything. We'll kind of get everything set up for that, first week of January or something. But those are a couple of the big changes ahead. There'll be some other good stuff coming your guys' way soon. So yeah, that's it. Announcements done. Focus for the week is movement. I know we're like sticking with all the basics, and I know you're like, I know. We talk about movement and water and healthy plates all the time, but isn't that the magic of Fitme, that we're really just doing the same simple things over and over again, but like in the different seasons of our life? And so instead of making grand ideas of what's going to happen during holiday week, and you probably have a lot on your plate and a lot of exciting things that are coming up, instead, we want everyone in Fitme to focus on movement this week. And that means getting walks in, getting workouts in, getting in whatever version of movement you can. Why? Not because we're burning off our, Christmas Eve dinner. You're not. Usually, like if you have a big holiday dinner, I think we talked about this around Thanksgiving, the number of calories that you would have to burn to account for that exact is just insane. Like say for example, I did my Peloton bike today for 30 minutes. I did kind of like a chill ride, nothing crazy. It told me I burned 180 calories. And that was probably like generous because I wasn't pushing too hard. I was just pedaling. I was sweating, but I didn't like kick my own butt or anything. 180 calories. And when I do it like super hard for 30 minutes, we're talking like 300 to 350 calories most. And that's like a butt kicking 30 to 45 minutes on the bike. So that is great for me and I should do it, but we're not moving to compensate for what we're eating. That's just a game we're never going to win. Instead, we want to think about movement as one, overall movement does help lose weight, but two, movement just helps us to feel better. And especially on days when we're going to have treats and we've got a lot of stress and we've got stuff going on, getting in a workout in, sweating resets our natural like endorphin system. We feel better. We're like refreshed for the day. You just have a more enjoyable day, but it won't happen in a week like this unless you prioritize it. So as simple as it is and as basic as it is for us to return to one of our fundamentals, it's on purpose because we want you to prioritize your movement this week in your exercise. So how do we do that? The same way we always do. You pull out your calendar and you think about what you've got going on this week and where it's going to fit in. If you don't actually do that piece, you can say that it's a priority, you can mean it, and you still might not do it. The difference between thinking about it and then it actually happening is pulling out the calendar, putting it into places where it will actually happen, not like maybe I'll squeeze it in after I leave that church thing, or maybe I'll, squeeze it in on my way to go grab the kids from whatever. I'll stop somewhere and just do a walk. If you don't put it in the calendar, it's not going to happen because you won't actually build around it. That's really what we're talking about when we say make movement a priority this week. It means that putting it in your calendar is actually saving the spot for it. I've saved the date for myself to go do X, Y, and Z. And that means I'm not going to, do something else in that spot. So like I said, as simple as it is, there's no better win to start out the new year than having the holiday week or holiday weeks. If you go from this week into next week with New Year's, one where you're like, you know what? It didn't have to be perfect, but I just flexed the habits that I've been practicing. I got workouts in most days. I walked the days I didn't, and I felt really good enjoying those treats. And now I'm ready to like kick it in the pants for the new year. It's a really great way to set yourself up for that first, because what we're doing is a little different. You're going to see on Facebook and on Instagram, all of the New Year's shenanigans starts to come out real soon. So everybody's going hard and the like, can't wait till the holidays are over. I'm going to do a X, Y, and Z. And like, you're going to start seeing all the fitness, people and the diet people putting out their stuff, couple weeks away, you're going to want to lose all that weight. So come on. So what we're doing inside our tribe, inside our community is something different. Like, we're not waiting for another 2 weeks. We're just going to do our thing, but we're going to enjoy the holidays while we do it. And one of those is just checking that box this week that we're going to get movement in this week and next week. So last week was water. This week's water and movement. So I just kind of want to hear from you guys. Is it something that will fit into your week? If so, where is it going to fit in and what are you going to do?
So my plan, and I've been working on it with Molly, is to put everything in my calendar. And I've prioritized, like I always work out every weekday almost at CrossFit. But it is time blocked in there now. Like I can see it, it's happening. So basically making it more of a visual for me instead of just something that's up in here.
Like that. I love time blocking. It's such a good strategy. And I have to revisit it every couple of seasons because sometimes my time blocks change and then I don't change them and then I don't do them. That's awesome, Lisa. That's good. So what's on the horizon for you this week? Do you have it blocked in to get some stuff in specifically?
I specifically have that. And then any free time I have like a crazy busy week because you're trying to cram everything into 4 days instead of 5. And I had extra work come up this week because it's the holidays. I clean for a living. And then, so I get tons of exercise just in my job. Then I do CrossFit, and if I can, I throw runs in there, or walks or hikes. We're supposed to get some snow, so there may be some snowshoeing happening.
That's awesome. Snowshoeing's hard. That's really hard.
It's so fun.
There's Andy's new baby. Oh, little baby. Oh my goodness. That is a beautiful baby. So who else has movement or workout plans for the week and what is on the calendar or what is going to be on your calendar?
So I'm still on the early side. I went too fast with Elizabeth when I try to get back into it. So I'm not going to try to kill myself this time. When I had my talk with Coach Leah, that's what we were discussing. Just wait till the 6 weeks. But I think this week I'd like to start getting back in our normal routine where I would walk our dog in the morning. And it wasn't very far. It was like 1 kilometer, but just to get something again. So that will require a little extra effort on my part because I'll have to figure out like when to feed him and that kind of stuff. But
how many weeks is he right now?
He's 3 weeks tomorrow. So when I was with Elizabeth, I went out too far too fast and I really like set myself back. So I'm just trying to bide my time and wait till the 6 weeks postpartum. But if I can like just walk our dog the morning and the afternoon, the 1K at least. And then between that and like steps in the house for cleaning and whatnot, that'll help me get back on the right track, I think. And I don't think it's going to be that much that'll like push me back or anything,
Yeah. Walking is great to start postpartum or after any injury. So I want to show you a thing, and it applies to everyone. It specifically applies to Andy, but I'm gonna pin my video real quick so you guys can see. So when I was postpartum, I actually asked a physical therapist about walking. And I was like, when can I get back to walking? She's like, well, you can walk now. And I was like, well, how far? And she's like, well, that just depends on you and what it depended on. But this is true for everybody. So I'm going to show you. Is my video pinned? Can you guys see me pretty clear? So if you put your thumb like this, so I'll show you. If you put your thumb out like this on your sternum, and then this thumb out on your pubic bone, they should be parallel. So when my belly is relaxed and I like open my back, they point up, and one points down and one points up. So if I squeeze my tummy tight and tuck my rib cage down, then I'm kind of like over exaggerated, right? I'm like doing a crunch and I'm squeezing together. But then when I come back to neutral, my tummy's still on, but now they're both pointing parallel. So you guys can see that's actually the torso position that you want when you're doing any exercise. So this applies to Andy, but it applies to everybody too. And so what the physical therapist told me is, like, when you're like this, if your pelvis is a bowl, it's not going to dump forward. So if I dumped the water forward, my belly would relax and those thumbs would spread apart. And if I tighten my belly up, I'm bringing them back to parallel, right? So that bowl of water right here dumps out when I release my belly and I don't have good posture. So for everybody, that's actually a proper posture position for lifting, for standing, for walking, for anything. So if you're just standing around and your belly's loose and you're just kind of like hanging out, you're in a really poor posture position. You want to think about those thumbs, draw them back, and now I'm in good posture. So Andy, the reason I tell you that is because the physical therapist told me when I was walking and sort of building back up the walking after having Georgia, that once I was dumping forward, I was done walking. So I could walk as long as I could keep that good posture position where my ribs were stacked on top of my pelvis. But as soon as my pelvis, I couldn't hold it anymore, then I was done. It didn't matter how far, short or far, I had gone.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. I've heard about the hip and being like a bowl, but I didn't hear about the sternum too. So that's pretty good visual. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a good cue for me, even with exercise. Like once you've gotten really tired, so after an injury or a baby or something, right, you're just going to fatigue faster because your muscles are tired and they're recovering. But all of us get to a point where we like hit fatigue and we're no longer able to have good posture. And so sometimes people will notice that, like, when you're like far into a workout, especially like a CrossFit style workout, you can lose that posture position and you'll notice things that like wouldn't be there at the beginning of the workout. So maybe back pain, maybe like urinary incontinence, stuff kicks in later because you've lost that posture position. And so even practicing, it's called like a pelvic tilt, but just practicing what I showed you where you like relax, you come all the way in exaggerated, and then you come back here and then you just practice holding that position. That's good for everybody to practice. And if it's too hard to do standing, you can do it on your hands and knees, like a cat cow kind of thing. So anywho, demonstration day on the Sunday call. But everybody has to go try it. So I want everybody, when we hang up, I want you to go get your thumbs, stick it on your sternum and stick it on your pubic bone. If your family's like, what are you doing? Be like, I'm practicing my posture right now. But you think it's silly until you do it, and then go ahead and try to like walk or march, and you'll realize that it actually takes your abdominal wall to flex to hold that position while you march. It's actually way more challenging than you think. Cute little baby. Who else has got movement planned for the week? And what's on your plan?
I have mine all planned out. I actually sat down. I'm starting my strength program this coming week. So I sat down and wrote down my strength work for this week. The plan is to get it done first thing in the morning because I do have family visiting. So up and early, probably around 6:30 is my plan. Get it done, start my day.
Are you working out in your garage now? It's all set up again?
Yes, it is so nice to have my gym all set up again in my garage.
That's amazing. Do you have to heat it so that you can get going at 6:30 in the morning?
I have it, there's like a heater in the garage. We have Cove heaters, so it has like a radiant heat. And so I have it set to about 65 degrees. So it's still a little bit cool, but warm enough, that I can actually move, not feel frozen.
65 is totally doable. The first CrossFit
Yeah.
gym I ever worked out at was 45 or 50 sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
First thing. It was
That's too cold.
The bars would be like your hands would frozen to them. Yeah. That's awesome. And what is the strength program? You said you wrote it yourself?
Yeah. It was actually a program that was written for me probably about 3 or 4 years ago, but I've tweaked it to where I'm currently at now. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just going to roll with that for the next 6 weeks and see how that goes.
Awesome. We'll be twinsies because I'm just starting a strength program too.
Nice.
Winter's a good time to lift weights. If you guys have access to weights, it's a great time to lift weights. You just want to make sure you're warmed up properly, really. But as long as you can warm up properly, it's a good time to build some strength because summer is more fun to get out and do some longer things like hikes and stuff like that. Winter, there's a lot less of those fun outdoor things like 5Ks and 10Ks and hikes. So it's a great time to focus on the other stuff like strength work if you have access. And the nice thing about strength work is you might not have a full garage gym like Sam does, but your body is a weight. Your body counts as weight. And so squats and push-ups and especially tempo things. So when you're doing a tempo thing, it makes your body even heavier. So it's like you are able to, you don't have to fight all the people who are trying to get all the weights during the pandemic and they're charging like an arm and a leg. You just can use your own body and you can even make it heavier by doing tempo. Sweet, guys. Anybody else? Anybody need some accountability? Anybody not want to do movement this week and willing to be like, yep, that's me? Okay, good, Marlena. Okay. Are you going to do it though? My mom's waiting too.
So I have a full work week. I'm off Christmas Day and that's it. So I have a couple of late shifts where I can probably get a walk in the morning. And then the rest of the shifts, by the time I get home, it's late, dinner. Well, I might have to just do something, in my room, yoga or something like that. I want to do something on Christmas Day, kind of like we did Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. It just kind of depends on the kids and what they're going to be doing Christmas morning. So it might have to be a little bit later in the day, like a hike or something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't really want to do anything this week. It's just a crazy work week. So
it sounds busy. Yeah. And even the way you described it sounded busy. Like you will have to do extra effort to get those in. So my suggestion though is instead of thinking about it being a have to, or Christy made me raise my hand and I did, think about how doing something, even something like a short walk is going to make that day better. And so build it in knowing that, after a long day at work, doing a nice walk is going to be a good way to reset, even if it's 15, 20 minutes, so that you can start to, do whatever, dinner with the family and come down. So just kind of flip the way you think about it and then build it in with the idea that it's for you and that you're doing it because it'll be nice and not that it'll be another thing.
Okay.
Mental backflip.
Yeah.
And short is okay. short can really do all of the things we just talked about, you know, resetting your, like, getting that good endorphin surge, kind of just resetting your mind and getting a breath, you know, getting the blood pumping, all of those like basics for movement you can do in 10 to 15 minutes. That's not like ideal forever, but in a busy week, 10 to 15 minutes is great. Georgia and the puppies and Elmo and tinfoil. My house is like chaos. All right, guys. Well, everybody has their target for the week. Take your intentions around movement, make them a reality by writing them down into your calendar, putting them in your phone with real life built around it so you know exactly what's actually going to happen. Everybody focus on good posture while you're doing it, since you just learned that new posture trick, and have a wonderful holiday. And then we'll talk, you know, post holiday on Sunday next week. And all the calls are still on this week. So Lauren's still going to be holding Wednesday call. Leah's still going to hold Monday. So if you want to pop in, definitely be on there. They will be there for you guys. And so if you need anything else, just reach out. Gotta take a picture. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. All right, guys. Merry Christmas. Have a great week. Talk to you later.